I will fear no evil. The Lord is my shepherd.
When I was born, I was withdrawing from cocaine. Both of my parents were IV users. It was bad. My esophagus flap wasn't developed. When I was an infant, my aunt had to take me from my mother because abuse started going on really, really early in age. Crank at 13, cocaine at 16, crack at 18 to 25 to 27.
The life of the godly is full of light and joy.
My childhood wasn't that great. It all started out with drugs, with parents, alcoholism, a lot of child abuse, child neglect. My mom was a single mom, so she was never home. And when she was home, she was always drinking, partying. Her boyfriends were beating us, or she was beating us. It wasn't good environment. So the drugs were always in the house. Hard drugs, cocaine, crack, meth, crank, alcohol was always been in the picture. I started drinking, or test drinking when I was young, and I started smoking pot or stealing my mom's joints, weed, when I was like 6th grade, something like that, after foster care, after she got us back. I was stealing Sudafed from my mom's friends, 12 years old, 13 years old, doing crank. They were cooking dope in the projects where we were living at, and it really got real bad real fast. People started getting killed. My mom's friends started dying, hanging themselves because they caught 25 years in prison for cooking dope. My mom dying 4 years ago. I really went downhill after that. Just kept meth on me all the time. I kept a sack, stayed high, stayed taking pills, drinking, ruining my life, not thinking about the children. I was thinking about my kids, but I wasn't thinking about them. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't think about my kids, because I did. I helped take care of my kids, but the attitude I had of the drugs was surrounding my life. I had this facade that I was riding around with a loaded gun because I was legal, beat felony charges, that I thought I was some wannabe dope boy because I was selling drugs, pills, ice, whatever it was at the time. So they offered me, I told them, I said, I need help. I really need help. I've been struggling with drug addiction for 25 plus years. They said, okay, well, if you find somebody within 72 hours, you go to rehab and you won't go to prison. First place I called was A Better Way. They accepted me. So I heard about A Better Way Ministries when I was locked up, doing the 11 months I was doing in 2022, through a guy that been through the program. He was like, here's a number. He started showing me the book. I'm like, wow, that's what's up. Like, they do this, they do this. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. I pulled up down there by the office. I'm like, man, this don't look like a rehab to me, not knowing that it was a spiritual boot camp, but it looked nice, man. I was like, wow, I never, I've seen stuff like this, been around stuff like big houses and neighborhoods, but never been part of a ministry before. My first day here I was so thankful that I didn't get sent to prison. I had become completely humble. I was ready to change. I had been locked up for a while in 2022 and in 2021, and I kept seeing this cycle all the time. I'm like, I had to lose everything, completely lose everything. My kids, my youngest kids, my house, my business. My biggest impression when I first got here was all the guys, just showing me love, coming up to me, putting hands on me, praying me in at dinner, talking to me. So the structure when I first got here, I loved it. I still like it. It's important to have structure. The structure to the buttons, to the everything in order, it's awesome. You got guys that complete, we still do the same thing, but I like the structure. I'm used to that. I was used to that because I needed it in my life. So the brotherhood here at A Better Way is something I'm never going to forget. This brotherhood right here that you established right here in this program is going to carry out. I feel like in my heart I can call on somebody from this program 10 years from now and still talk to them or need them. They're going to be there for me no matter what. My trip to Florida was a life-changing experience. It's the best 3 days of my life. The beach house was just awesome. You know, I've been in construction my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So just the layout of the house was perfectly laid out by Brother John. The view of the ocean, sunset coming up, everything, you know, from the time from sunset to sunrise with the our devotion in the morning. You know, I have those as photos saved in my phone. I mean, it's just breathtaking. We were all handpicked. You know, there's the 12 guys I went down there with. I went and traded for the world. You know what I'm saying? Who I went down there with. You know, I had one of the most, like I said, the best 3 days of my life down there. Whether it was serving food with my brothers or just having a blast at the beach, sitting on the beach doing devotion with Brother John. It was just, it was all good. When I went down in that water, man, when they were speaking to me, you know, my eyes were closed and everything like that, but the sun was reflecting. It might sound crazy. The sun was reflecting off the water, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. As he was praying over me, and what I was praying at that time, it was weird, man. Like, I could feel, it was like my eyes were open looking at the sun. But when I went down in that water, man, I left all that, my old self down there, where I don't have to worry about drugs, the smell of nicotine, the urge to do this. I don't have to worry about all that no more, because I let that my old self die. When I got baptized, I left all that, my dirty self, dirty ways down there in that water. With my children, I'm in the process of trying to get visitation established with my youngest children, my 5-year-old, my 7-year-old, but my other children actually see the difference in me. My cousin, you know, the family members I do have left, they see a difference in me spiritually, physically, and mentally. The way I carry myself, the way I talk about things, the way I don't overreact, the way I might walk away from somebody that might be cussing around me or being negative. I'll just walk away. God is really restoring those relationships, you know, in ways I won't even understand. But, you know, it takes time, you know, because, you know, hurt people, and it takes time to heal wounds. So it's really important to stay faithful, stay prayed up. Don't lose track of yourself and get caught up in, you know, trying to piece it all together, because he's going to put it together the way he wants to, how he wants to do it. Not when you want to do it, but when he wants to do it. It's amazing. It's heartwarming. You know, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said heartwarming, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't really cared, you know. But that's changed. God's changed me tremendously to where I'm not the same person I used to be. I don't think the way I used to think. I care for people. I can really say, hey man, I love you, bro. Keep your head up, it's gonna be okay. And I mean it, instead of, hey man, I love you, and don't care at all.